Welcome to the third session of Dwayne, right? Songwriting with Dwayne, that's the title of this. I knew I'd get that covered. Welcome back. One quick thing I wanted to go over is last week when I left a song that I wrote that I thought I stole from John Denver, and so I'm going to play the song by John Denver, and then I'll play my song after it. No, actually I did the other way. That's what I want to do. I want to do my song first. This is the song I wrote. I can play the whole song, but it's called More to Love. I'll play it to the chorus, and then I'll play the John Denver song. Here's the chorus. It's basically an exercise to show you that you may think you're stealing a song, but generally what you've done is got inspired by a song. And that's the whole important key thing, is to get inspired to write something. Okay, so that's the song I wrote, thinking I was singing this exact song, stealing this from John Denver, way back when. This was like 1974 or something like that. But then here's the song that I thought I stole it from. Here's his chorus. Won't waste our time with the whole thing, but anyway, you can see there's really no similarities hardly at all to those songs. But in my head, when I was writing it, I'm thinking I'm stealing that from him. So again, when you're writing a song, you may be getting inspired rather than thinking you're stealing something. And again, like I said last week, there are something like 100 million songs, or 10 million songs, or 1 million songs, something. There's a million something songs out there in the world, and there are basically 12 notes on a scale. Now there's more octaves and stuff like that, but still, you're bound to repeat notes sometime, or repeat a phrase or something that's going to sound like somebody else's. Take that as a compliment rather than a diss, or to stop writing that song. But so again, these two songs I thought were exactly alike, and they're not anything alike. So anyway, this week what we're going to be talking about is we're going to go over some more sources of getting inspired with songs, how to get inspiration, how to get going on songs. It happens for everybody differently. Some people just wake up with a song, some people dream of songs, some people do the shower songs. Can hit you at any time, day or night. Once you get used to the calling of the songs will call you, and you'll hear them, and you have the right to refuse or to accept it. And sometimes I've lost probably 26 jobs, all for songwriting, where I've sat down, got all ready for work, and the song came to me. And these are back in the days when you couldn't just record it really easily, and you had to write it down and work on it for a while to memorize it. And I would just blow off the job, because to me the song was more important. So that's just me. Any way you get the inspiration, though, is good. So that's one thing we'll be talking about. And then working through the problems of songwriting, you can hit roadblocks all along the way sometimes where you can't think what to do next. And we're going to talk about writing the chorus, and then I want to leave enough time here. I don't want to get too bogged down in all songs tonight, because I want to leave enough time to write live the song I talk about her. And that's the one we talked about last week. I played to the shower song I got out of that one, the really poor quality. But I want to go in with that tonight, write it live with you guys. And I'm going to write the whole song live over the next few sessions. So that's the plan. So getting started tonight, one of the things for inspiration, you can, if drums sometimes will do it for you, just go get a drum box or drum beat box or something, or look them up online. There's all kinds of drum beats online, you can just download them just for free. and just get a beat going. And once you hear that beat, it reminds you of something, gets you inspired to write something, and you never know how that's going to hit you. One of the songs I wrote called "Go Ahead and Try" way back when, I was working at Alpha Beta, and I was bringing in the carts. I was the box boy, and I was bringing in the carts, and the clackety clack of the wheels had a certain rhythm to them that was just so inspiring to me at that moment. Where the song was ready to come out somehow, and I wrote the whole first verse and chorus before I got into the store, and just kept singing over in my mind all day like that until I got home and could finally put it under guitar. So that can inspire you. Or a bass line, you can go to the same thing, download or go to Beatbox or something, get a drum beat or a bass line going, some kind of a good bass line going, get you inspired. Doesn't matter where it comes from, but be watching for those inspirations and how they make you feel and how they make you explode with music somehow. So that's some. Then other ways you can get inspired is like thinking of things that are going on in the world. Like right now, there's a lot of civil unrest and physical problems going on. So here's a song by Peter, Paul and Mary that's a beautiful protest song. And things like this, very simple lyrics, very simple melody, but really amazing in its power and impact over the Vietnam War back when.
How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever back? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing.
And you probably noticed a lot of stuff we talked about last week on all the songwriting techniques and stuff like that, the different ways of phrasing words and using words differently and stuff like that. So a lot of those are used in there in the rhyming schemes and all that kind of stuff. Here's a modern one. This one takes some getting used to. It's not my type of music, but it's out there, and after you listen to it a while, you'll get, maybe not everybody, but you get kind of almost addicted to it. So, and this is called Hell You Tell 'Em About, and it's kind of using that trope word from last week, where you're using the word in a new way. It's like talking to me about is what he's trying to say, I think. What in the hell are you trying to talk to me about? And telling me about. T-A-L-M-B-O-U-T. It's a whole new word he's used. So. It's from that movie that came out a while back. I can't remember the name of it. Another protest song. So. Just a modern day one. Notice in there is all the formulas that we talked about before with all the rhyming. He just happened to say his name over and over again, using that as the rhyme. So there's nothing wrong with that if it fits. And in a protest song, a lot of things can fit, and this definitely fits for him. Here's a song, I call these the turnaround songs. This is a old one by Harry Chapin, Cats in the Cradle. It's a great song. It starts out with the boy. If you haven't heard this, just about everybody's heard this song, but the boy is growing up and his dad's too busy for him. Dad's always gone.
He came to the world in the usual way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. He learned to walk while I was away. The cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy, little man on the phone. When you're coming home, Daddy don't.
He does a great job of using a child's nursery rhyme, blending it in to a powerful statement. As the song goes on, at the end, the son is too busy now for the dad. The dad's retired and has all the time in the world for the son, but it's too late. It's a really powerful song. So, here's another song that's this is what I call hidden songs. These are my favorite songs. The type I write the most, where I hide in there the true meaning of what I'm trying to say, and it sounds like another song. It sounds like a love song or a song about this or that other thing, and it's really about something else. This is Bread singing Everything I Own. Everybody thinks it's one of the greatest love songs ever written, and it is in a way, but the true meaning here, if you listen to the words,
You gave my life to me, set me free.
he's actually talking about his mom. This is a song he wrote to his mom. And when you listen to the words of that circumstance, it really is his mom. You can't miss it, but when you listen to it as a love song, you can't miss it as a love song either. So.
Just to have you back.
And his mom has obviously passed away. where you're thinking it's the girlfriend or whatever has left him or whatever. So that's a great song. And here's a motivational song. This I love this song. I set this one up. Hold on. If this song doesn't get you going, nothing will. You need more coffee. Although Eminem's pretty angry in most of the songs, this is very motivational. Yeah, that's one of those songs every time you hear it, you want to run out and just do everything you've wanted to do for your whole life because it's so powerful. But Landra, should she try a keyboard for beats, or if no beats? But yeah, if she's got a keyboard that has beats on it, that'd work. Really, you can go online, just type in Google and type in fast song beats or something like that, or just drum beats or something like that, and she'll find something like that. One place I like to go is to the Guitar Center, and you go there and they've got the drum machine set up and stuff, and you can sit there and play it and turn up the speed and turn up the sound and change it to 50 different beats, and you'll probably hear a song every single beat that comes out of that thing. So that's a good one. So you can use that. Thank you for that question. On the choruses have to be really special, really spectacular. If the chorus isn't super spectacular, super great, your song isn't gonna go anywhere. It's just a given. There's just too many songs out there to try and work through if your chorus doesn't do just something spectacular. Now there are exceptions in the fact that this is something I wanted to touch on the first week and I forgot to say it at all, was when you have a song that you've written and you think it sounds like Taylor Swift or Paul McCartney or name an artist, Michael Jackson, doesn't matter, and that star is popular and you've written a song that sounds like that person now, you are too late. You've missed the party. The boat has sailed. You're done. You're not going to get on that. There's room for the style of the day, one, maybe two slots at the most, and that second slot has to be somebody that's already usually famous and is coming in and taking some of the thunder from the first person that came up with it. There's a reason Led Zeppelin made it. There's a reason John Denver made it. There's a reason Michael Bublé made it. There's all these different people come in at just the right time. If you ever notice, Michael Bublé, when he made it big, was just shortly after Frank Sinatra died, and he just filled that gap right in there. You cannot chase talent. Don't try to chase talent. You're gonna sound like the songs that are on the radio. It's just a given. You're gonna do that because that's what you're hearing. And what you listen to is what you're going to usually make music of. But you've got to have a different edge to it. When America came out, they were different. They were completely different. There was this mellow thing going on. So many of the groups, when they come out, Taylor Swift was just hit the market at just the right time for her style of music, kind of the crossover country, things like that. So don't try to chase the talent. Don't try and chase. This is what I hate. I hate when people say, "Oh, you sound like Michael Jackson," or "You sound like John Denver." Well, that one I don't hate. I actually like that one, but anyway. But you've got to come out with your own style, your own thing, and you've got to believe in it. You've got to get behind it and do it. Just do that style, and you'll modify it. You'll change it around as you go. But if you try and go out there and just be somebody else, why do we want to listen to you? We listen to the guy that does the thing. The real way. My dad, he gave me some good advice, and when I first started playing the guitar, and I do some other people's stuff, and I do some of my own stuff, and he told me, he says, nobody ever made it doing other people's songs. And it's really true when you think about it. I mean, certainly people cover other people's songs that are famous, like Celine Dion or something. She'll cover lots of songs, or Frank Sinatra, and he's covered songs all his life, stuff like that. But if you don't have your breakout song, the song style that you invented or came up with, you're not going to make it. It's just, you're not going to. You can't name me one person that did going out and covering somebody else's songs. That just doesn't happen. So make your own style. Be kind of like somebody else. Be, like the different people, but blend all those different people together and make your own style and make your own thing. That's how you're going to make it. That's how you're going to be unique and original. And there's a song way back that Make your own kind of music, even if nobody else sings along. Don't worry about the other people singing along. Go out and make your style, make your song, and do it to the best of your ability, and keep working at it. And eventually, people will follow or they won't. But they guarantee you they won't follow if you're doing other people's stuff. That's just that holds true on almost everything, whether it's painting or construction or anything. You don't do what everybody else is doing because someone's already doing it, and it's like it's not new and original. You may make somewhat of a living at it, but you're not going to be the famous star that you're looking for. So anyway, that's kind of a rant. Okay, so how to recognize a chorus. A chorus, when you're singing along, and I told you this a couple weeks ago, and it's very true. What I do when I come up with a chorus, and I think it's the best chorus there is that's ever been written. First thing I do is I look at that, and I go, I'm going to make that the verse, and I'm going to come up with a better chorus. Doesn't always work, but that's my strive. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm a firm believer in setting the bar high. You want the bar as high as you possibly can. Impossible, like my Leaves script. I want to go to Broadway. I want to win the Tony Award for the best new musical for Leaves. That's a almost dumb goal. It's so big. But if I hit anything close to that target, I'm going to be doing well better than anybody else. And so that's what you want to do with the chorus. You want to make it the best chorus and then the better chorus from that. And so how to recognize it is like when you're singing, choruses will explode. You're singing along some verse or something like that, and the chorus has to ooze out, has to explode out. And that's where you don't want to limit yourself when you're writing. You don't want to sit there and go, well, I better not be loud right now because the neighbors are sleeping or something like that. It's like that's not the time to be quiet. For 5 minutes you can blurt out something. Or when you're driving along and you're in your car, that's the time to blurt out stuff. But you've got to be able to be in a situation where you're free expression. And I'll tell you a story. I've written well over 300 songs. I've been writing for almost 50 years and stuff like that. And in 10 years I was married. And I wasn't free to express myself in that marriage at that time, or I didn't feel like it was, whatever. I wrote 2 songs in 10 years. And with all of the songs I wrote 2 songs in 10 years. And I've written 300 songs before that and after that. So you got to get yourself in a place that is comfortable and that you're free to express yourself. You have to be able to say anything. Because remember last week when we were talking about the words and the shower songs, and you just start saying stuff, and I didn't have words for a lot of it. I just had a little melody going and stuff like that. You've got to be able to just say anything. It's not the words you're going to say. I hate my life. I'm going to chop off my leg or something because it rhymes with something. That's all. It's stupid, but it's like it's words in there. You modify it later, but you got to be free to say anything you want to do or say. And if you're not free to do that, you're in the wrong environment, and you need to get somewhere else to write songs because that's not working for you. Now, once you have the chorus line, you can embellish it. You can always change things. You can add words. You can go up a scale or down a scale or whatever like that. But you've got to, again, I started this whole thing with this, you've got to have something written down. You've got to be able to say something, have something written down or recorded that you can work on. Because if you don't have that, you have nothing to work on. You can always modify, always embellish, always change the notes, always change the scale, octaves and all that kind of stuff. It goes along with letting it all out. You got to get it all out of you. When that chorus comes, now that emotion wells up in you and you want to say this thing, you've got to let it all get out. That's what songwriting is all about, really. It's cleansing your soul. You get to just it's a great feeling. It's a marvel. That's so wonderful. There's times when you want to throw it out, and that's not a bad thing to do. It's like you're frustrated to the point where you can't do anything with it. It's not coming together. That one wedding song I wrote, one of the wedding songs I wrote was that way. And it was the dumbest, most trite wedding song I'd ever seen in my life. I had about 3/4 of it written, and I finally just threw it away and started completely over because it was like, it wasn't right. It wasn't going anywhere, and it wasn't fixable. It was just like, throw it out. And so I would say I've done that about 10 times out of probably 300 something songs and 2,000 shower songs. So it's like, it's not something I do very often because a lot of times I keep those pieces. Now, if you think of the Beatles though, when they wrote songs, and as you all know, they're not my favorite group by any chance, but it wasn't totally their fault, but there's reasons for it. But how they wrote songs, they wrote about 3 to 5 songs a day for like years. So they had thousands and thousands of songs. Some of them weren't very good, some were just pieces, stuff like that, but they wrote like profusely. And when you hear the Beatles songs, a lot of them you'll hear are pieces come together. That's why their stuff sounds so interesting a lot of times, because they've got a verse here from this song they wrote 5 years ago, and a chorus here, or half a chorus here from a song they wrote yesterday. And certainly they piece those things together, and they do that a lot in their songs. So the more you write, the more stuff you have to draw from. So that's a really good thing to do. But anyway, I have a ton more stuff here, but we'll have to put on next week, because I wanted to leave time to show you how I write. And what we had so far, this is what we had last week, this is the Talk About Her song. This is the shower song I got last week.
I talk about her like I knew her last name. Talk about her like it was. I talk about her like it's not just a game. Talk about her like she was all in my mind. Talk about her all the time.
Okay, so that's the shower song, the embarrassing thing. That's raw right out of the iPhone. First time I'd heard it or thought about it or anything like that. So one of the things you want to do is you got to have that. What are you writing about? What's your song about? And this is obviously about a girl. Okay. And back to my thing where I like hidden songs. This is a song that sounds like it's a girl you're talking about that you're in love with or something like that. And it's not. It's about a girl that I love, and I love what she does. But she's Emily, I'll tell you that. She was the one that wrote the music for Leaves. The first time I gave her all, like when I write music, if I have one here. Yeah, here's one. It's only going to be backwards on the camera, but that's how I write music. I write the words and I write the chords above it, but I don't have the melody. I don't make it look like music. Okay? There's a big difference. This is notated music, where any musician can come up and read that and play that practically. And this, no one would have a clue as to how that song goes, except the words, and they would play the chords maybe. So she's the first one that took my music, and this is actually one of her things she did. She took this music, I sent her the songs, and she made it look like music. And that thrilled my soul to no end. I mean, it was 45 years of waiting for my music to look like music, and it did finally. And so that's this song is about. I talk about her, because I talk about her all the time in the Leaves format, and how she played the part in Leaves. She had to move on and go off to college, and her parents didn't want her to be involved in this. They wanted her to be all involved in college and stuff like that. So I miss her a lot, and I think about her a lot, and all the conversations we had, we worked out a lot of stuff for Leaves together and stuff, and it was great. And so that's what the song is about. So my next line now is I'm gonna say so the first part is, I talk about her like I knew her last name, and that's one of those, not hidden things again, but it's something that makes you think of one thing. Like, I talk about her like I knew her last name. I don't know what that means to you, but it means to me kind of like you didn't know her very well or something like that. And so I'm saying that it's like it's I talk about her real intimately, even though we were far apart. It's like so. And then I talk about her like it wasn't a game, and it was very serious. We talked about all the stuff on Leaves and the notes and how the songs would go and stuff like that. And I talk about her like it wasn't all in my mind. And a lot of times it's been so long now since I've seen her, worked with her, that sometimes I wonder if I've made the whole thing up or something like that, but I didn't. And I talk about her all the time. So now I'm going to go to the next thing, and I was thinking this is the chorus. But I've reworked that down. It says, I gave her my notes and she turned them to music. She took my words and the angels sang. She made it look oh so easy. And then I've got a line there. I don't have anything yet, but it's like, so that's where I was going to go with the chorus. But now I'm thinking about going on with and the chorus and making like, and so we made music or something like that. And so that's some of the stuff you can do, but that wasn't near what I wanted to show you tonight. But I'm trying to keep these things down to a half hour, and that's 29 minutes and a half. So I'll have to move on. But I'll have to just make the sessions long, not the sessions longer, but the time I do these longer. So that's about it for tonight, I guess. Kind of disjointed. Sorry, I'll have to put less material in these things. So thanks for listening, and go out and write your songs. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.